Hey, welcome to the show. Feeling good with Duddy. That's me. Let's go. What is happening, guys? We are back. Episode 128 of Feeling Good with Duddy. That is right. We did it. Not only did we do it, we have another fun show for you guys. It's going to be a shorter show for you, but it is a fun one. We came in today, and instead of getting right into recording the podcast like we normally do, we decided to redo the entire warehouse here. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the bar behind me is completely different. Everything around me is different. Luke will do a quick video, show you guys an overview of what we've done. Still a work in progress, but definitely much better than it was. Dirty Heads, not a lot going on. We do have a few shows coming up to round out the year. We got one in Reno next month, Hampton Beach, but we have also just recently announced we will be playing the Forum. And that is just insane to me. That's going to be a very special night. November 22nd, we are playing with our good friends Sublime with Rome, The Interrupters, and Beach Weather. It's going to be an amazing show. Tickets are already on sale. You can get them right now. They are selling fast. So if you do want to attend that show, I highly recommend getting them soon because it is going to sell out. And it is going to sell out probably, within the next month. So head on over and get your tickets for that show. Rome and Duddy, we do have a show coming up this weekend. It's been a bit. We haven't done much. Rome's finishing out the end of his contracted shows that he has with Sublime with Rome. Dirty Heads have been busy. He's got his own solo stuff going on, so, hasn't been a lot of time for Rome and Duddy, but we do have a show this weekend in San Diego, Bayfest with Iration and Pepper, Article Sound System, K-Bong. That's going to be a lot of fun. So if you are in the area and you want to go have a good time, this Saturday I will be in San Diego at Bayfest with Rome and Duddy. That's about it for music news. Other than that, let's get into this episode. Like I said, it's going to be a bit shorter today because we spent all of our time redoing this place, but I do have a couple fun things. And one fun thing is my brother. He sent me another rant, but this time he said my answering machine was full, so he sent me a video. I actually have a video of today's rant from my brother. Let's check it out right now.
Duddy, Jake here. What's up? Oh my God, I just saw something on the side of the road as I'm driving, and I had to complain about it. I called you a couple times. Your voicemail is full, so I'm recording a video. Man buns is the topic of today. I looked to my right as I was driving right now, and I saw a guy. Okay, man buns as a thing are 10 years past being comedic, right? We've been making fun of the man bun for a decade, and it's still not gone. It's not as prevalent as it was 12 years ago, but I think, globally, we've named it man bun. It's not a cool name. I've also heard top knot be used, and that's as bad as man bun. It's a terrible look. It's for like fake yoga instructors only, or guys that are really good at hacky sack. Little sound effect I added there. I have that in my car. But either way, it's really a douchey look. Now, if your hair's super duper long and you need to bun it up because you're doing some sort of athletic feat, okay, fine. But what I'm really furious with is the man bun when it's way too soon to be tying up the man bun, which is just what I saw on the side of the road. It's typically, it's this guy that he's got a man bun on top, but he can't even really fold the top hair over to create the bun. So he really just has a man palm tree sort of on top, like a bit of a man. It's like if you light a certain type of firework where it just sprays up in the air. A fountain, I believe, is the name of those. It's a man fountain, and it just sprays up, and then it's typically the type of dude who's trying to shave all the way around his head, and then he just ties the top hair up. But the guy who does the man bun that's too short to even fold over is also the guy that has the head around shaved, grown out so far that it's sticking out. So it's hard to even, it's almost like a sumo wrestler's hair, but where the sumo wrestler should be bald on top, he's done a man bun fountain. You know, I think the best way to alleviate this is just to do away with man buns altogether. I think they should probably be illegal. Otherwise, it's not really a big deal.
All right, so there you have it. Hilarious as always, I guess, except if you're a man with a, what do you say, a top knot? That was good. If you're a man bun man, sorry, probably not funny to you, but I think that we're all kind of in agreement. That's been a thing for a long time, the man bun. I feel like it's been made fun of for a long time. He made a lot of good points there, and I can't wait to see what he has to say next week. And if you were listening last week, we got back into something that we used to do in the past that was really fun, and that was where you guys, the listeners, you send me videos of you explaining a time where you unfortunately shit your pants. And we had a really funny one last week from a longtime listener named Kimmy. We've got a couple more this week that we're going to play for you. And if we haven't played your video last week or this week, we have them piling up. We're going to play them. Don't worry. But this week we have 2 new videos for you. And we are deeming this segment, Don't Judge Me. Let's hear it.
Hi, Daddy, longtime fan and listener. My name's Mandy, and I wanted to share a shit your pants story that happened to my husband about 2 years ago. We went out, no kids, on New Year's Eve, and none of our friends were out, so we decided to go back home and take some mushrooms. So it was about 9 o'clock. We take mushrooms. We're watching stand-up, having a good time, feeling good. It's midnight. I decided to go to bed. My husband says he just needs to take a shit. All of a sudden, he's screaming for me from the bathroom, and I go in, and he says to call 911 as he's butt naked, sweating, falls forward into the bathtub and sprays shit all over the walls. I can't wake him up. I call 911. They're on their way, and all of a sudden, he gets up, and just like a mummy or zombie, and just gets up and is like, "Who are you talking to? I just had to take a shit." Long story short, canceled the ambulance. But not only was there shit all over our wall, the impact of him falling off the toilet into the bathtub pinched his dick in the toilet, and he sliced his dick open and had to super glue his dick together for 2 weeks. That is my shit your pants story.
Well, that had a very different ending than I think all of us were expecting. Quite the Shyamalan twist there with the super gluing of the penis. Well, first off, Mandy, thank you so much for sending that. Great story. You spoke so nice and clear. That was awesome. Story was disgusting, had a twist ending, everything that we're looking for in a shit story. But I think that the best part of that entire story was just how calm you were telling it. Very calm, very clean spoken story. Thank you very much, Mandy. And now we are going to get into another story from a listener, and his name is Jason. Let's go.
What's going on, everyone? Just want to preface this by saying I'm deathly afraid of snake and snake-like objects. So a few years back, I took my family to Discovery Cove in Orlando and swimming around with the fish and everything. And I look to my left, and what do I see? A giant eel. My body stopped, and I was scared shitless. And by shitless, yes, I shit my pants in the water and had to swim out and spend the day in the bathroom. Turns out the eel was behind glass, but my body didn't care. Wanted a brown smear in my pants. Yikes. Have a good day.
That was, I think, our first underwater pants shit story. I never thought about that because, underwater, you'd think, okay, if you sharted underwater, would it stay in there? I don't know. And I don't want to find out. And if I saw an eel under the water, maybe I would shit myself too. Jason, thank you for the story. Thank you for our very first underwater pants shitting story. Can't wait to see what stories we get next week. Thank you guys so much. And again, if you want to have your story on next week's episode of Feeling Good with Duddy, head over to the Feeling Good with Duddy Instagram page and you can send it into our DMs. Send the video vertically and, try to keep it around 90 seconds or less. That would be awesome. And we want to hear them. So thank you guys so much. Told you guys it was going to be a shorter episode. Sorry, we spent so much time redoing this place, but I am going to get into some Q&A right now. These Q&A questions are coming from our Facebook group, Feeling Good with Duddy, over on Facebook group. Go sign up. And you guys, I do have a very, very fun episode for you next week. Ruben's going to be in here. Rumor has it, Solid Dad is sending me another track. It's going to be a great episode next week. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Let's get into the Q&A right now.
It's question time again, answering shit, Q&A-ing with my friends. But I ain't answering that dumb shit. Ask me about pizza and I'm emptying my gun clip. It's Q&A time. Ask me about life and I'll tell you about mine.
Question time. Again, these questions are coming from our Facebook group. And if you're asking questions and they're not getting answered, they could be for one of many reasons. One would be it's a question I've already been asked multiple times on the show, so I don't want to keep re-answering the same questions. Or if you're asking me a question like, when are you coming back to my specific city? I talk about this many times in the past. I don't know. And we try to hit as many different cities as we can. We can't hit them all. And so sorry if I didn't hit your city this summer, but we will be back there soon. And when? I don't know. I don't know when. So I don't answer those questions anymore. But I do answer questions like this. And this is coming from Kristen Beck, longtime listener. If money was no object, what is one thing you would splurge on? Oh man, I've always thought of just like building my own private 9-hole golf course in my backyard. My backyard I have right now would not be big enough for that. But if money wasn't a thing, you best believe it would be. What's next? Drew Foss says, what is the most disgusting shot of alcohol you have ever taken? I guess just by itself with nothing else. The grossest one ever, which Jared, back when he used to drink, was on a kick, and it was Rumplemints. Ooh, I hated that. It tasted like a shot of toothpaste, but like a mixed shot. It's got to be that one. What's it called, Luke? Or the cement mixer. Have you ever done that? You put it in your mouth and then coagulates into this fucking nastiness. Why would anyone want that? That's got to be the most grossest shot. But the grossest shot I've ever seen anybody take was Jared. Jared took a shot where Matt, after the show, had a humongous blister on his finger from playing drums. Jared popped the blister and squirted the juice into a shot glass, poured some vodka on it, and tossed it back. For nothing, too. No one dared him or bet him or nothing. He just did it. So that was the grossest shot ever. And this one comes from Patrick Lynch, another longtime listener. Good to hear from you, Patrick. 37 days till Halloween. What's the family's costume idea this year? We have a great one. I'm not going to tell you. I never tell. But I will say that Poncho is a part of it. And it's good. That's Rachel. I just hung up on her. Hope she doesn't get mad. This one comes from Ernest Greisman. I believe that this is a new name. I don't know if I've heard this name before. He says, has anyone in the crowd ever distracted you to the point you almost lost focus? No, not to the point where I've lost focus, but I will say that when people have little signs in the crowd and they're just trying to get your attention the whole time, with your sign, or my new least favorite sign is when the people write something on their cell phone and they try to hold it up to your face so you can see what's on their cell phone. I can guarantee you whatever's on your cell phone, I'm not doing. I'm not doing it. And if you're holding up a sign the whole time in the crowd, blocking everybody behind you from seeing, I'm not doing what that sign says. I'm not a sign guy because I feel like most of the time the signs are just something where it's just you're trying to get your own personal need fulfilled at that moment. Screw everyone around me. This is my sign. I'm holding it up. So it doesn't distract me to where I'm going to mess up, but I do find signs to be a bit disrespectful. I don't know. Not a sign guy. Not a sign guy. Oh, okay. This one comes from Steve Tuck. And he says, oh, if you could have MJ or Michael Jackson or Taylor Swift open for the Dirty Heads, who would you pick? Come on. That's kind of an obvious one. You got to go with MJ there, right? You can have Michael Jackson open up for you. You do it. Luke's shaking his head. Why? It's Michael Jackson. Luke. Well, she did probably when she was a little girl. I know he's a pedophile. I get it. He's just so good. All right, we got one more, guys, because we have been here all day and I'm like sweating and I'm starving. And this one comes from Justin Palmer and it says, how is your fantasy league going? It's going okay. I keep losing players, though. I've already lost my quarterback, Tua. I've already lost Puka Nacua. I've already Mostart is out. Trey McBride, my tight end, just got a concussion yesterday. I just keep losing players. So I'm 1-2 through 3 weeks. I've scored quite a few points. So I'm like, I think I'm like 6th place out of 12 teams right now. I'm doing okay, but I'm not feeling good about next week since half my team is dead. But that is how it goes when you play fantasy football. And to those of you who don't play fantasy football, I'm sorry you just had to listen to that because I know you guys hate hearing about it. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I have an amazing episode for you guys next week. Sorry this one was a little shorter, but we will see you next week. Peace.